Hi, good morning, Corrie Thorne, psychic medium, spiritual healer, um, mystic prophetess, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I'm like I'm a channel to the divine messages, and um, I I am also am the owner and creator of the More Than Existing. And I'm laughing, and I don't, and it's not as this is a channeled message that's coming into July, and I'm not laughing at the situation or the scenarios of everything that's channeling through. I'm laughing at how spirit plays such tricks on us, how we just get played to believe that we have more control than what we actually have. And so myself and my dear friend were having a conversation about titles, and it was in the channeled message. It was coming up on how we, the need for titles, the need to have this level of control, the need to be heard, the need to be right, the just blah blah blah. And that's what it was. And I didn't do any channel message for any of the months coming up, like from March on till now. July's I did do, and I've just been posting those on my YouTube channel. But this is a channeled message. This is not an astrology. This is not a individual personal session. This is what the this is what I'm hearing chattering through the universal energy as I hear the guides and spirits, as I hear my channel speaking to me. And I have about 2 or 3 of them now that are like chattering. And I can tell you the energy, the divine mother, Mother Mary, working with the divine mother of Mother Earth, have kind of stepped in. And I want to say Saint Anne, the grandmother energy. And I just recently became a grandma myself. So I can tell you what kind of protection I feel in my heart for my new granddaughter. And that's the energy that I'm picking up. So they have this protection, this like they're frustrated as effing hell right now about what we are leading to believe we have control in. And this is coming on the energy of a lot of what's the word they're using? I'm trying to turn, because there's a lot of swear words coming from the, not that they swear, but the only way they can commute it to me is there is not, and it's not an anger. It's not like an angry projection of crash, bang, wipe out the world kind of thing. But it's that for months I've been hearing that song. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as you know it to be. Because what is coming forth for me is the fact that if you were to look at your ancestors and look deep, look real, get real, look really deep and hard about the pain they actually had and the lack of wisdom and knowledge they had based on what they were learning from the broken people before them, the people that only knew what they knew. But there's such a projection. And the key for us, the key for this new world, this new society, is to not to allow that kind of broken down belief and habits kind of follow us through. And I'm trying to make it into as simple as I can language, because the way they're coming through, they almost sound Italian-y to me. It's like there's a European accent coming in here, and I have this strong sense of those that believe that they have enough power to mind control a whole world are about to learn some really valuable lessons. And there's this whole essence that one angry person can cause such turmoil when we stop and we pause and we look at the world as all. If you looked at every human being as a spiritual being looking at you, would you be so quick to jump on board, to attack, to come to kind of be angry? And the grandmother spirit's like, hey, listen, if you got nothing nice to say, how about you say nothing at all? If you can't engage in a healthy conversation with each other, why are you talking? Because nobody is listening. And that's why I stopped talking for a long time. It just felt as if nobody was really listening to each other. It was chatter, the air out there. They were saying, the whole universal energy is like, this is as it is right now. This pandemic, this energy, this destructions of and dismantling and the need to kind of find these voices and trying to, this sense of wanting to kind of, I want to say identify, I don't know what other words, to identify each other and put labels on each other and to tag each other, tagging each other. That's it. That's the message. I'm like, how am I getting this? We are trying to tag each other. We're trying to barcode each other. We're not trying to come together. In this world of what is happening right now that is supposed to be actually coming together, there has been a divide and a division that has taken place that has placed us all further apart than ever before. And the one thing, the pure intention that was really being sought from the day that humans start to arrive was to coexist, was to be able to live in a world where we could all be authentic, where we could have our identity, but to be good freaking human beings. It was about learning kindness. It was about learning compassion. It was about learning to do something better each day, to be better each day. We are not getting that. I am sorry, but what I'm seeing out there right now, it is not. If I'm being labeled, if I'm being tagged as being this person or that person, then there's something outside of the people that are tagging that are really truly need to go inward. Are you here to continue to live in that energy, in that anger? Is that anger really going to solve anything? And that's the message that I'm really getting here. And it's coming from the mothers, the grandmother, the divine energy, the divine presence of unconditional love. And if you learn and you discover what it means to love, what it means to have unconditional love, love thy neighbor as as we love ourselves. Well, you know what? When we're making our own selves our enemy, when we've become so angry that we are actually dismantling and destroying every little thing that we have inside of ourselves, everything we've built up in our integrity. When we've gotten to that point, and when we see that, and I've been seeing Lady Liberty, and it's like and I for 2 weeks I've had nothing but straight Lady Liberty, and I know this is all coming on the days before the next full moon, before the next eclipse, before the next energy. There is this strong presence of Lady Liberty. Nobody can set us free, and nobody is the savior of us but us. And what sets us free is when we set ourselves free of that desire to be. With that desire to be greater than, to be better than, to be more than. And when we can bring ourselves into the freedom, set ourselves free to find peace, to bring ourselves back into a peace that's inside of us, to be at present with ourselves, to stop, to pause, to breathe through. Because you know what? We are only in the eye of a storm. We are only in the center of a storm, and there is a storm brewing, and there is still a bigger storm brewing. And when that bigger storm brews and something so much more drastic happens, are you going to be trying to reel in all of those words you've said, all of those actions you've taken, all of that hate you've projected, all of that, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know that I was a part of that big of a problem. I did not know that I was also, my hateful words, my hateful actions, my behavior, my response to everything was contributing to what I am seeing happening in the world today. Because every time we lash out, we are contributing to something that is so much more worse, because it is unraveling an attack that is larger than what we could imagine. Because you think your little words are only being heard by your friends? Well, if you take every bit of that energy and that snowballs into one big energy, then what? Where are you going to sit in your heart when your decision to choose to fall into the place of anger, that desperation, desire to be right, to prove somebody wrong, to not wait until the temporary moment is finished and over? When you're going to be on that end, you have to remember that you have now made a bigger enemy with yourself than you have made with anyone else out in the world. And then we have to go back. How many times in our lives have we contributed to things, getting all mad, getting all worked up, getting all involved in something, and we don't even take the time to get to know even more of the story? We are so quick to pick up on one little word, one little saying, instead of go back and learn. We need to go back. We need to not go backwards. We need to go forward, but we can't until we get the full story. You need to stop, pause, take a deeper look. Be the eagle eye that looks in on the storm, that can see this is how Phoenix moments happen. We rise from the ashes of making a choice to choose, to make, repairing us first. By being done, by being to war, being at battle, enough with ourselves, enough with the world, enough with the people around us, that we finally collapse. We lose all energy. And when we lose all energy, only when we shush up can we hear the whisper. Then we can hear the whisper. And when you can hear the whisper, you can hear the whisper of the God conscious, and whatever that means to you. When we're there, that's when we can actually start to feel from our hearts again. Because the moment we're destroying each other, and the moment we're destroying things around us, we are not in our hearts. That's not where we are working from. When we seek to come from the spirit within, that's when we become the change we want to see in this world. The freedom to love, the freedom to be, acceptance. Because everybody is fighting to be accepted. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, everybody is fighting for the same thing. Everybody is fighting to be accepted, fighting to be heard, fighting for love, fighting to be free. Free from what? Today, if you are hearing this message, I invite you to know that the spirit in me really truly does see the spirit in you. That statement changed my life. And I heard it as a reminder again. And just as I was just walking through Canadian Tire a couple hours ago, I'm in Canada, so we have Canadian Tire, a hardware store. There was a puzzle with Jesus holding a little child. The healer who walked upon this earth, crucified, put on a cross, paraded and dragged for doing something a little different. Crucified by those who did not want to believe that what he was doing was just being a healer who was only spreading love, accepting those who were not being accepted anywhere else because they were not bending. They were not bending and accepting the conformity to be a collective, to live in fear. They were trying to be set free. That freedom cost Jesus everything. That freedom, that need, that desire for freedom has cost a lot of people everything. That need to be superior has caused a lot. That need to be better than has caused a lot of pain. Today, as I listen to these beautiful divine spirits speak to me, today I hear, this is the day of Lady Liberty. There will be something that washes away, and we will have to stand back and think of our actions, the behaviors, how we've responded. Then how will we show up? How will we show up? How will we be seen? So today, how about we set ourselves free of the need to be, and we start to allow the flow of love by going inward, doing what we need to do. We take those crosses, we stick them in the ground, and we hang no other man, woman, child, no matter what. No other human should ever hang from those crosses to pay the price for the ego of another. And as we all sit at the feet of the divine and we forgive, starting with self, this is the day that we stop living in the misery. The day we forgive is the day we start to set ourselves free. Are you ready to finally start setting yourself free? Free of the misery, free of the suffering. For when you accept you, you will see the acceptance everywhere. The acceptance of you will bring you peace. It's time to set yourself free. Much love. Thank you. And I hope this resonates somewhat with some people. And I hope it can take you to a place within your heart to just stop, pause. Let's be the beginning of the new perspective. Let's be the beginning of taking a stand and letting our light shine to be just like Lady Liberty. Shine a light in the midst of a storm that can remind people that there is still love in this world. Today, be that light. Much love. Bye-bye.